Plaintiffs April and Brent DeHaан are suing Brent's sister and her husband $4,228 for unpaid rent. Defendants, Ryan and Janice Knapp, claim the plaintiff's rental property was a dangerous fire trap that put their entire family at risk. They say they owe nothing.
Do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes. Yes.
All rise. The Honorable Judge Jerry Springer now presiding. Good morning, Judge.
Hey, Najee.
It's case number 23 on the docket. Mr. and Mrs. Dehan versus Mr. and Mrs. Knapp.
Okay, great. And welcome to all of you.
Thank you.
Let's see what we have here. We have the plaintiffs, Mr. and Mrs. DeHann.
Correct.
Okay. And you are suing the defendants, Mr. and Ms. Knapp, in the amount of $4,228 for back rent.
Correct.
We'll start with you, and then I'll get to you, okay?
The defendants moved into our rental property on July 1st.
Yes.
Janice is Brent's sister, my husband.
Brother and sister here.
Yes.
Okay.
Within the first 6 weeks, they were already late on rent. I have text messages, screenshots, August, September, October, November, and when we would get rent, sometimes it would be a folded up check. It would be for half the amount. They wouldn't even, tell us they're going to be late.
So they didn't pay on time.
Right.
But for how long were they living there?
They lived there for 2 years.
So for 2 years, eventually...
They're always late.
Always late, but eventually paid up until...
They'd pay a little bit here and there.
Yes.
To try to, catch up a little bit, but they were always, late. And before they even moved in, we had some reservations because of Janice's financial history. There's been a history of car repossessions, other evictions, but Ryan was kind of new to the family, and so, in talking to him, we believed he was a stand-up guy. We wanted to give him a chance. We thought that he would kind of help her turn things around.
Here's some text messages.
Regarding what, the late payments?
Yes.
Us asking them for late rent
Within
Yes.
the first 6 weeks.
within the first 6 weeks.
Yeah.
If they were lots of times late with the rent, and yet they stayed there 2 years, did you ever at some point say, if you're late with the rent next month, you've got to leave?
So within the 6 months, they were a couple months behind, and they actually got caught up at the time when they got their taxes back. So at that time, they got completely caught up, but then the cycle kept continuing. Yeah, the excuses for late rent was surgeries, back, being in the emergency room with migraines, back pain, knee pain, constant things like that.
What is your take on all
my
this?
belief, first and foremost, is you simply do not sue family. I feel that Jan is being targeted in this suit mostly because there's a financial history within the family. They've helped family extensively, and I believe this is kind of the repayment, if you will.
The family doesn't owe me $4,500 in rent.
Isn't it fair to say that if you're living there and the rent is due, that they're entitled to expect that the rent would be paid? It would be very annoying if month after month after month they're not getting their rent. And because it's family, it's all. If you weren't family, they may very well have said, these people out of here.
Right.
Well, there is that, but there's also, we have extensive evidence of many of the upgrades that I made to the place.
Tell me about it.
Some before and afters, and I paid for all of this myself.
Okay, are these upgrades?
These are upgrades of the townhome.
And were these upgrades that were approved by the landlord?
Yes.
I don't recall
Oh, this is the
that.
before and after.
Yeah, you gave me full autonomy.
I also have evidence of
So you have the
his
kitchen
repairs as
before
well.
and after. That's the bathroom.
Paint.
Believe me, I have seen pictures of the befores on cases such as this when I'm going, wow, how do they even live there? We're not talking about anything here that made the place uninhabitable.
No, but much more appealing.
More
especially-
appealing, and you're saying they approved these upgrades?
Yes.
And you're saying apparently you didn't? Did you tell them, no, we're not going to pay for that?
He wanted, yeah, he took it upon himself
To do it himself.
to add a few light fixtures,
Okay.
clean up and paint.
Okay, but I'm going to say an innocent thing here.
But
Brother
this is-
and sister, you're suing each other. What's Thanksgiving going to be like?
And
Man,
I-
and whose apartment are we going to have the Thanksgiving?
And I feel very bad about that. I mean, they are family.
Yeah.
And you're right, you shouldn't have to sue family. But I don't own this house. When they don't pay rent, I still have to make my mortgage payment.
still have
We're
to pay
paying
mortgage.
two
And
mortgages.
as you heard me say to
Right.
them, I'm
We
ready.
also have pictures of after.
Of his repairs,
Of
too.
his repairs that were
that
done.
now have ruined the countertops that I'm going to have to replace.
On this issue, this isn't worth going to court over this part.
Well,
The
but
rent-
it's part of our defense is because of the upgrades, plus there is also faulty wiring
Okay.
in the
We
electrical
couldn't
box.
even run the microwave without a circuit breaker. We had to do the circuit breaker every time. We had to
I'm
have the
not
TV
saying
or
that you
lights
didn't
on.
put some things in there. I get it.
Well, the
And
worst
I get
part,
it.
the worst part was the day we moved out.
They moved out, yeah.
What
because
happened on the day you moved out?
Because the day we moved out, it was on my birthday. We had to move
They were
out.
supposed
We
to
did
actually
some-
be out the day before.
What kind of hurt me a little bit, being family, they didn't even wish me happy birthday. I couldn't even, just those two little words made me upset. You know, they couldn't even say happy birthday. I mean, I didn't care about anything else going on. They couldn't even just say, oh, by the way, happy birthday, have a good birthday, or no. Then we also had to give away our two dogs, Mambo and Lacey, that we've had for a long time that devastated our kids because where we moved couldn't take the dogs, so we had to get rid of them. Then we found family on Craigslist, so we lost, you know, part of our family members too, on top of
Okay.
it all.
And I understand that. But
I mean,
here's what I do think. They are entitled to have their rent paid for. So let's talk about what agreements that I understand you agreed to modify the rental payments, et cetera. At some point, as I understand it in this complaint, you went to them and say, let's try to work something out.
Because they are family.
And because they're family, and for the back rent, instead of the $4,228, we're going to knock it down to $2,400, and we're going to let you repay us $100 a month. So they're willing to cut it in half and give you 2 years to pay it back. And I understand you even didn't pay up on that, or you fell behind on that, the $100 a month.
Correct.
You're in a bowling league?
Correct.
How much is the bowling league?
Between us, it'd be $40 a week.
And bowling's nice. You bowl well, you're a good bowler.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're spending money on that.
Plus food and drinks. I mean,
Okay,
you know.
spare me that. Oh, that's a bad pun. But I'm going to strike now. So, I don't want this case to go in the gutter. I have run out of bowling jokes.
Nice.
Here's what we're going to do. And they're entitled to the $2,200, which you agreed to. I fine for the plaintiffs in the amount of $2,200.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Hey YouTube, check out my new show, Judge Jerry. Now for sneak preview and behind the scenes footage, subscribe to my channel now.